That's exactly. There we go. We're live now. We are so excited to have Nika for our first indie author spotlight. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank
Um,
you.
Give everyone a little bit of time to jump in. Hey guys, thanks for joining. So happy to have you all here. We're excited to talk about a good story and all of the things inspiration and writing and publishing, and writing through trauma too. So, Nika, do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do, your experience both with writing and with therapy?
Yeah. So, my professionally, I am a perinatal trauma therapist. I'm trained in EMDR, and I've been doing it for over 10 years. And I myself have done EMDR therapy, and so I've been on both sides of the therapeutic table, if you will. Um, and so kind of what got me where I am like today is that I went through a traumatic medical event. Um, and I won't share. I don't know what trigger warnings and whatever, but let's just say it looked like a crime scene basically. And so from there, I just had this horrific case of PTSD, and I knew it. I was like, I diagnosed myself, but it kind of threw my entire body off for over a year, and I got super sick. I was in bed all the time, and, and so basically, all I did was read. I just read romantasy after romantasy, and it was not just an escape for me, but there are things about some of these books that I feel like have redemptive and some healing that can happen from it. And so when I kind of came out of everything, I had all of these people from all different parts of my life that didn't know like each other encouraging me to write. And I'm like, who, you don't know me. Like, why are you asking me to do this? But anywho, I was like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. And so here I am. And my, yeah, first book is coming out soon.
That's exciting. How long ago was this? Like from the time that happened and you started the process
Yeah,
of writing and getting ready?
right. Yeah. So everything so the medical event occurred in the fall of 2023. And so I actually was not cleared medically as far as like, oh, look, I'm all better until January of this last year, 2025. So
Oh, wow.
so I actually had started writing a little bit in December of 2024. And then finished the first draft last July. Um But I have kiddos. I hybrid homeschool, so they go to school 2 days a week, and then I homeschool other days, and that's been a great fit for us, but it also means it takes away a lot of time that I could be doing writing, so it's taken a long time to kinda sort out a rhythm.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. I think we all
Definitely.
understand trying to juggle many different things as
Yes,
we write as well.
yes,
So,
Yeah.
for sure. I love that you have such an incredible experience with healing through writing. Like, I'm sorry that that experience happened, but I'm so glad that you found writing as
Mhm.
such a therapeutic thing to help you process all of that. I think it's something that a lot of writers experience, but
Mhm.
uh, you don't necessarily understand it until you experience it yourself, how healing writing is.
Mhm.
Um, but was that like the first time you'd ever attempted writing? And what did you discover about yourself or the writing process that
Mhm.
you weren't expecting?
Um, okay, so my okay, let me just back up. My undergrad is biology. So, um, I'm very science, not on and I thought about doing I loved writing and I love reading. But when was in college, everyone was like, "Don't do that. It doesn't make money." And so I was like, "Okay, I'll do STEM." Um, which I don't even use really now anyway. But I basically like had this creative space, and I do have a theory, kind of as a therapist, I have a theory that so many people squelch their creativity or have had it dampened and just like tamped down as children. Um, just it can even just be like a passing comment from an adult. It may not even be like a caretaker adult, like a parent or something, but that just like you're like embarrassed or ashamed or just like, oh, I had this thing. And creativity is so vulnerable. Um, and so I have since kind of looked back on my own life and been like, oh, I remember making a decision at that point that I was never going to do like this thing again. Um, and so throughout my life, people have said you should write a book. And it's always been weird to me. I'm like, why would you even say that? It just, but it has happened enough that it's like, should I be listening?
It's
Like,
starting to stick.
right. Well, yeah, like, and all these people that I'm like, it's just so weird. So, also, I would say on top of that, as a therapist, there is a form of therapy called narrative therapy. And the whole basis of it is the healing process of writing out story. And it could be like your own story, like in a journal type way, but also translating your story in a fiction type situation. So,
That's so cool. It has an actual name. We've been saying that it's a form of therapy forever.
yeah,
Yeah, I was just gonna say, so I actually did another Substack live a few months ago that literally you can go back and watch it called Writing as Therapy, and I did it with another author because while I haven't gone through something probably as traumatic as your story, just realizing that so much of my author's journey has been a therapeutic experience and that like the characters in my book are also kind of parts of me that are getting out and things like that. So it sounds very similar that I think there's a lot of people today, and especially women, that are writing right now as this form of therapy, as a form of awakening, as this they're coming in touch with like what they actually want in life. There's just so much happening right now around like I feel like women in our like who are older, you know, a little bit like I'm gonna say older like me, but in their 30s or
yeah,
40s, you know,
yeah.
who are realizing that they have this a voice to share with the world, and so it's really exciting to see you finding yours also.
Thanks. Well, and I mean, you touched on a big thing. Like, I mean, I think we're in this as romantasy has gotten bigger and bigger and bigger.
Mhm.
Not like not even talking about our current cultural moment, which is like insane, right? But just women's rights, all the things. Don't
Yeah.
get me started. Don't. Um, but but even like as it seemed like romantasy really started to be more and more popular, which I think was sort of around 2020, 2021, if I'm not mistaken. I could be way off, but I'm pretty sure it was
Mhm.
fairly recently. It's like it's women writing about empowered women
Mhm.
and having agency and change over their circumstances. And that, okay. And so, even within that, I would say one of the things that inspired me is that I read in 2020, like last year, or 2024, right before I started writing, when I was super sick, I read over 120 books. And
Oh my god.
like, is a
That's
lot,
impressive.
right? So it's like they're like, know your audience. I'm like, I'm the audience. I know
Yeah.
you. I got it.
Like, I am the exact audience. Yeah.
Right. But I can't. So but I buddy read a lot as well, and so I would hash stuff out with my buddy reader, um, and and I was constantly going back to why are women so obsessed with some of these men? Like, why?
Mhm.
What is it about these MMCs that women, my book boyfriend, all the things?
Yeah.
Why do I have such this like visceral kind of response even to these men written by women? Um,
Yeah.
but I think there's so much that it's like there is such a lack and a disappointment. And I'm married, by the way, and I'm happily married. And but like the way culturally I feel like masculinity has gone, respect has gone, um, and just care and commitment. I think women are freaking over it. And so to even just write about something like that, it's freeing and it creates a world that other people and well, that would want to escape into, but I would also say is inspirational and aspirational because there really are some very real fairy tale stories out there of amazing. And again, I mean, frankly, I would say I have that. Like, I have an amazing husband. I've been married for 16 years. And now, yeah. Anyway, sorry. I was, he grew up overseas. So I'm kind of like, that's why I fell in love with him, is because he's American, but he's not.
Yeah.
Um,
So which character in your book is he? No, just kidding.
Yeah. Well, no, because honestly, because when I created my MMC, honestly, I was like, I made like, what are the characteristics of all these MMCs that I love? And I wanted to like put it in one. So you're not going to find in Realms of Ruin, you're not going to find enemies to lovers. I am not a fan of bully romances because I'm like, that guy's an a-hole. Like, kick him to the curb all the way. There's a lot of like, red flag things that I feel like I'm like, oh, that's cool, whatever, like in a romantasy. But we all have our things, right? Where it's just kind of like, that's just not, I'm not connecting with that. So my guy is not that. They're more like reluctant allies. So
Okay. I like
Gotcha.
yeah.
mhm.
I love what you said about fiction being not just an escape from the real world, but an inspiration to the real world. Because something that the reason we started One Brilliant Arc and we wanted to help support these writers like yourself who are writing meaningful stories is fiction has the speaking into being is part of the power that storytellers have. We can write the better story of tomorrow, and fiction has a unique power to give people that vision and that hope and that inspiration that it can be real. So I think that when you are a good storyteller and you put the effort into writing a story, you are helping to speak that better world into existence. And you're also helping people heal from the terrible part of the world that they've experienced at the same time. So, writers are superpowers. Like, that's basically what I'm just saying. Writers are
Yeah.
superheroes. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, tell us
Love
more
it.
about Realms of Ruin. Tell us what made this story matter to you.
Mhm. Yeah. So the main character, her name is Ruin. And there's multiple realms, so it's kind of a play on words, Realms of Ruin. Um, what I wanted to do was create a broken character who had, so she has a lot of anger, but it's like internalized anger. And she goes out of her way. Vengeance is essentially what helps her fall asleep at night. And it's her motivator. But she comes to find out that what she thinks she's pursuing for vengeance is actually not reality. It's not what's true. And so her world kind of gets thrown upside down. My heart and intention. So I love the Plated Prisoner series. And if anyone's read that by Raven Kennedy, it's brilliant. But I think it was book 4, is there's something big that happens at the end of book 3, and it's pretty traumatic. And book 4 is essentially this like trauma growth arc. And I've heard some people say they don't love book 4, but I was like, she did it so much justice. Like, that was so good. And so that, honestly, I'm like, I want to do that. Like, I want to destroy my character. I want to like psychologically screw her. And then, I mean, because right, traumantasy, like I've heard that term. It's like, yeah, we want the happy ending, we want the inspiration, but it's like, but you're gonna walk through a swampland of hell to get there. So
It has to be earned.
I also do this to one of my characters too. So
yes, right. Well, it's
Us
like
writers are superheroes, but we're also very malicious. Yeah.
right. Well, and I think, like, how are they gonna grow? They got to start off somewhere, and then they got to start off low. So I have some stuff that ends up happening. The growth arc is not in book 1. This is supposed to be a trilogy. Um,
Yay.
Yes. So I've already started writing book 2, which is super fun. It's so much easier too, because I'm not like world building. It's like you already know we're just gonna keep trucking. But book 2 does have um a really, really fun, creative way that I want to say, but I feel like I would like totally ruin it. But it involves dreams. I will say that.
Ooh.
Everyone has to go buy the book in order to find out.
Right? Super, super fun. I mean, like, I get so excited to talk about it. But my whole thing was like, I want to do that. I want to do that justice. I want to do growth. And now and I will give like I give her choice and agency, but I wanted to do it as well in the context of a loving relationship. Like it's not like I didn't want to do it like she just pulled herself up by her bootstraps and was like, I'm gonna heal and I'm gonna do these things. Like there's so much that I wanted to do with the love and support of the MMC.
I love
And
that.
like that
Precise. Thank
he
you.
helps. Yeah, like that he helps like call out her greatness and he helps call out her identity and who she is. And she has to grab onto that. But that was honestly what was my motivator to like start writing this at all is because I was like, I want to do that.
I
That's
love that.
awesome.
That's so beautiful. Very much. I think that speaks to the truth that is more real than because pulling yourself up by your bootstraps, like, sure, that's a good message. It's technically empowering, but it also can be really discouraging if you think that you have to do it all alone.
Yeah.
Humans weren't meant to do life alone. And so the books that can move us away from kind of that toxic encouragement of like, no, just be better, just do it
Yeah.
yourself. Now you can be like, no, you can find someone who is a good person and a safe person and build that community and be able to lean on each other, which is kind of what we want to do with the Indie Author Spotlight here. We want to be able to
Yes.
be that community to help lift each other up. And yeah, so
Do you
what?
have like I really quick, sorry, Jaylon.
No, you're
Do you have like a back cover blurb or teaser that you could read to us?
Oh yeah.
Do you have like
Actually, well, thankfully, I've got my computer right here.
Okay.
I was like, no, I did not prepare such things.
It's okay.
Hold on, let me. Oh yeah, here, perfect. Oh, look at you. Okay. Let me find it really fast.
While you're finding it, do you want to also tell us because I know from chatting with you beforehand, but I don't know if we've said it here when book 1 is releasing.
Yes, yeah. So, Realms of Ruin is book 1 in the Astrals and Noct series. And Astrals, it's like of the stars, and Noct, Nokt. Now I actually forget. I know that Noct, the pronunciation is night in German, but I thought that Nokt might have been Icelandic. I kind of forget because I've looked up so much. But light and dark. So it's the Astrals and Noct series, and it comes out April 7th of 2026. And my cover reveal is next Thursday.
Ooh,
So
that's exciting.
I know it's a little late. I would have liked to have had it sooner. But yes, so
Everyone follow along to see the cover reveal.
well, and guys, oh my gosh, I commissioned 5 pieces of art today and I am dying. I am like, I need to get it so bad. I already have a few out from Nias, Niass art. Anyway, she's brilliant. And
I was just gonna say I've thought about doing this for my book and I haven't yet. But I like would want to make sure I have someone good quality. So yeah, you can if you want to drop the link, they're like if they have a website or something, do that after this.
Sure. Well, so side note, what I've done is I've just followed authors that like Gretchen Wilson, who did Smoke and Scar, Splintered Kingdom.
Sounds
I'm
familiar,
sorry.
but there's a lot.
Whatever. Anyway, I don't know where her money comes from. I mean, her books have done great, so maybe she's just like reinvesting over and over. But that woman she has commissioned more art. I mean, insane amounts. So what I do is I go through and I find the art I like, and then I just start saving all those artists.
That's awesome.
Like they've been vetted, you know.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I like it.
but I'm dying. I'm dying to get this artwork. It is if you haven't done it yet, let me just say it is like a narcotic. It is really, it is like, don't tell your partners how much you're spending. Wink.
All right, back cover blurb.
Okay, back cover blurb. Okay. So here's the back cover blurb. 26-year-old Ruin Vespera was supposed to become one of the king's elite Dreki, a trade that guarantees untold power beyond the magic you were born with. In the realm where darkness spreads, she has honed herself to be Haluma's deadliest spy in an effort to secure her place. Her desire to avenge her parents and hide a secret that only the king knows fuels her efforts. But when you're the last person in the king's order to be offered the coveted Dreki invite, death looms in every shadow, because the king doesn't waste magic, he drains it. With her entire future at stake, she makes a drastic bargain with the one man she's been hunting, the elusively dangerous rebellion general Dominus Zarek. When shocking orders from her beloved king force Ruin to re-examine the world she thought she knew, she sees Dominus and his desperate cause with new eyes. Maybe the key to avenging her parents is the exact opposite of everything she's been working for all along. And the monsters she's uncovered won't let her go without a fight. The hunter is now the hunted. She should have been the general's executioner. Instead, she's his and the realm's only hope. Yet with every day that passes, their alliance, like the veil over the land, deepens. But to choose each other, they'll have to betray everything they've ever fought for. And falling in love might cost them both their realms.
So good. I'm excited
That
for
is so
this release.
exciting.
Thank you.
Yes.
So, to kind of we've been talking a lot about the exciting parts of writing, but just to kind of demystify it, for anyone listening, what was the most challenging part of your writing process?
Good night. So, because I'm self-publishing, and I chose to do that for several reasons. I am older. I actually just turned 40.
I turned 40 this year, so.
Well, happy birthday. Yes. I mean, it's brilliant. I'm like, I've had 40 years of life. It's wonderful. But I'm also like,
Yeah.
I'm not getting younger, and I don't have 5 years to putz around with querying. I want to get this book out, and I want to get it out to my readers quickly. So, that being said, I mean, it's kind of a joke in indie land of all the hats you wear, but teaching myself graphic design, teaching myself Canva, teaching myself just there, it is like drinking from a fire hydrant. And so I think, I bought 20 little notebooks, little moleskin notebooks. And I have I have a marketing one, publishing, content creation, art commissions. I have, and then stuff for, my different books. But just trying to keep myself organized. It's been so much. And then it's oh, I have to create swag. Oh, I have to learn how to format this thing. And, and then KDP, or if you want, and I mean, and it will be on Kindle Unlimited. So I think just everything I didn't sign up for when I thought it's going to be so fun to write.
I was feeling it.
Yes. And obviously I think, it'll get much easier as it progresses, but that's been hard. And then I've been inspired because I'm on Threads, and so I'm connected to other authors. But like Amber Nicole, who did the Gods and Monsters series, Book of Azrael, she talks about how she loves the editing process, and I don't.
No, I don't think anyone does.
I just
As
really
an editor, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, so I had a developmental editor, and I really, she did tremendous, and I'm so glad for all her input, but it was a little rough. And it's you need to be resilient, and you need to be able to take some hard feedback. But with it being my very first book, I think I went through a period for sure of just feeling kind of demoralized. This probably is shit, and I need to burn it.
I think we all feel that
Every
at
day.
some point.
Every day. It's a struggle.
Yes, right? And then you keep going, and then you get out of it, and then it's okay, it's not so bad. And But I think having people around you or me, I guess with myself, having people around me, so other authors, some friends who I really respect, who I know would tell me truth. My husband, who is like insanely supportive, to just kind of keep me going, because I know like the first several months I was writing, I was like, I have a friend who's a writer, and she was like, "Yeah, why be happy when you can write?" And I was like, "That's kind of true," because I was crying a lot. I was like
Yeah.
crying a lot writing this,
Mhm.
and not because it was like therapeutic. It was because I was just depressed.
Yeah.
Um,
I feel that.
Yeah.
but yeah, so I don't know. Actually, I lost
Yeah.
my train of thought there,
That's
but
it. Yeah, that editing is hard, and writing is not for the faint of heart by any
No.
means.
yeah, yeah.
And self-publishing too. I do want to speak to that because that I also self-published.
Mm,
And so like for anyone listening or to like it is one of the hardest things, but I will say I really do think it is rewarding and it's going to pay off and things are changing. Like I really feel it in the publishing industry. There's so much more support for
mhm,
self-published authors now, and the fact that we do have mediums like, social media and
mhm,
Substack and places where we can get our stuff out to, where previously we would have had to rely on a traditional publisher to get the word out about our book,
mhm,
but we can do it on our own now. And so like
mhm,
it is hard. And so like not to, say like the business side of things and like I've done all the same stuff you're talking about, the Canva, you're learning how to format, you're learning how to do all of that
Yeah.
on your own. Well, but it's not on your own because, like, then you make connections and, like, one brilliant arc. So, like, I met, Jared, who's the founder, and Jaylon back in last January, when I was just getting started out on just like, I had written my book and I was just getting started out on publishing, but to, like, be able to see what they've done, so, like, they offer editing services and author coaching, and I, like, did a course with them, the Tell It Anyway, earlier this year or, like, the end of last year, and so, like, there's a lot of information out there that you don't have to feel so alone as a self-published author,
yeah,
and that's, again, back to why we're doing this indie author spotlight too, to be able to give back, to let people know that they're not alone, even though it is a lot of work and but it's absolutely worth it. And I do think self-published authors are going to be like the next big thing in publishing. I really feel it.
Definitely.
Well, and
Definitely.
I feel like I don't know all the genres, but I know in like fantasy romance, so romantasy,
Mhm.
so many of these books just get picked up trad. Like
Yeah.
they take off enough
Yep,
and
that's
then they're picked up.
exactly.
And so that's just my secret like hope. It's like, maybe I can be like Carissa Broadbent. And then like her original trilogy, the Daughter of No Worlds trilogy,
Mhm.
just got like this total revamp. And it's like, I mean, yes, it's possible, which is also, I was like, I don't need to pursue trad because if it's good enough and it gets enough, street cred,
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
that's the
The
hope.
whole point, the whole point, and I mean, this could be a whole nother discussion
It
about
could.
everything that's wrong with the traditional publishing industry. But I think that with the way what we're discovering as indie authors ourselves, and also what is just, what we see happening, I think that it's proof that you have to believe in yourself first in order for other people to believe in you and then help you. And writing is a solitary task, but I don't think, I mean, as Jess said, you shouldn't have to do it alone. It's not something that you should be expected to have to drink from the fire hose with absolutely no support,
Mhm,
because it
mhm,
is like it takes everything out of you. And storytellers are the storytellers who have a meaningful story to tell and are willing to put their authentic voice out there are the storytellers who are going to change the world and make it a better place for us. But they're not the ones that the traditional publishing industry is interested in supporting before they've proven themselves.
Mhm.
right.
So
Yeah.
it is important to, as much as the self doubt will try and attack you, surround yourself with people who can be like that outside perspective and that encouragement to keep you going, because it's not you shouldn't have to do it alone. It's a lonely enough task to write and have to, go on that journey yourself of, ripping out your entire heart and putting it on the page. But you shouldn't have to go through the entire process feeling like it's you against the world. You should have good people around you to make sure that you don't give up before you make a difference.
Yeah.
Right. Well, and there's so much too, like, I've heard the term a lot, like find your tribe or find your people.
Mhm.
And so like when I was starting out, I'm like, I don't know any other authors, like at all.
Yeah.
And so it was it was funny because somebody was um well, why don't you just make a group? And I'm like, yeah, why don't you just make a group? But I did. Like, I was like, well, hey, Threads, anybody interested? And so, funny enough, so me and two of the authors that are part of this little group that I tried to facilitate, we're gonna meet up and hang out at Romantasy BookCon in LA. And
That's so exciting.
I know, and I was like, who am I? Like, I'm just going to fly across the country and just meet up with people I've never met. But it's like we've been supporting each other for 8 months. And
Mhm.
so it's really cool.
That is
That
super cool.
That is, yes. And then someday you get to be the author at RomantasyCon, right? That's the next step.
Yes. I believe that one of the beautiful authors who
Oh,
is
that's
going
awesome.
to be joining me is watching. So
Oh,
shout out to Lindsay Riley.
Yay, thank you
She
so
is
much,
writing
Nika.
her debut, and it's going to be brilliant.
oh
So
my gosh. Well, if she wants to be featured on an indie author spotlight, we would love to
Definitely.
feature her also. So, Lindsay, be in touch.
Definitely. Anyone else listening who is working on writing a good story, we want to be your new best friends to cheer you on. So,
Yeah.
yes.
to make sure that everyone knows exactly how they can support you, where do you want to just share where people can find you, where they can follow your journey, where they can find your book?
Yeah. So I have pre-orders for my ebook available on Amazon right now. I will have I'm working on getting like a shop up for physical pre-orders and with all the swag and stuff. Um, you can find me on Threads and on Instagram at Nika Nika underscore McWrites McKWrites. And I think that's it.
Yeah. And Substack. And your Substack is called?
Of course, I have a newsletter. Oh goodness. Thanks. Appreciate you.
Yes.
Definitely subscribe to the newsletter for that cover reveal.
Yes. I have lots of sneak peeks. And if anybody knows the artist V Morte, she does some amazing art. Well, she has done some art for me, and I've been holding on to it. And so one of them is clean, and the other one not clean. Sorry, I don't mean clean. I mean actually, they're in a bathtub, so there is a cleanliness.
Oh, okay. So it's
One's revealing and the other one is NSFW.
Okay.
And so if you want access to that, you'll have to be part of the newsletter.
Okay, that's exciting. I
Very
have
good.
one more question, just because, part of this is, I know there's a lot of writers on Substack who will be watching this, but hopefully it's also attracting more readers for you as well, future readers. I'm just curious if you can give us one, I don't know, fun fact about one of your characters or some like quirky, what is something unique that you love about one of your characters?
Okay, so I've been making stickers for swag.
Mhm.
And two of them, so again, therapist, coping skills, emotional support things. I have a character who has an emotional support pine cone that
I
he
love
carries
this.
with him. And then my main character, Ruin, is addicted to cherry hard candy. So that's kind of a prominent feature in the book. She's always got these cherry hard candies. And the fact that she always smells like cherries drives my MMC Dom.
Oh.
Say.
Okay. That's fun.
Yeah.
I love that.
That's super fun. The emotional support pine cone is like, that's very much something that I would do. And I feel so validated that there is a cool fantasy character that also has an emotional support pine cone.
Yes. I don't even know where the idea came from, but I was like, that is so ridiculous. And I'm going to probably use that.
There are some things I feel like if you're a writer, you do like there's some things I will reread things I wrote and I'm like, "Oh, that's a good idea. Who came up with this?"
That is
Yep.
so true. But then that's so validating when you're like,
Mhm.
"Ooh, that sounds good. Who? Oh, it was me
Yeah.
the whole time."
Yeah. The actual antidote to the self-doubt that makes you wanna torch it all and question why you just poured all of
Yes.
your past few months into this.
Yeah, I absolutely yeah. Today, I feel like I had all the highs and lows, so I'm absolutely feeling all of it. Someone called my book a masterpiece, and I was crying at one point. So,
Hey, well, hey, hugs.
I know.
Yeah.
Thank
That's
you.
yeah, that's
Yeah. It's the journey.
yeah.
Yeah.
Find you a pine cone.
There we go.
Yeah.
I love this. All right.
Yeah.
Well, we will let everyone go find their emotional support pine cones or whatever other fun emotional support knickknack that you need. Thank you so much, Nika, for joining us and for sharing your journey and your story. Um, this has been our first indie author spotlight, and we're so excited to be doing these at least once a week now. So if you have a story you want to share, if you're working on a story, um, please let us know. We want to cheer you on and support you. And follow everyone here because
Mhm.
we all are here to give back what we have learned to the next writers who are working to tell meaningful stories that will help other people heal. So,
Mhm.
thank you again, everyone who joined us live and everyone who watched the recording once it posts. We will talk to you all next week.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nika. Bye. Thanks, everyone.